Welcome in everyone. Today's video we're going to recap our February 22nd AMD 78 call trade idea. So touch on the trade. We'll go over some option flow. I'm going to go over the trade idea on the chart, and I'm going to show you guys an example of IV and how it works very well with the contracts. So let's start here. We have our call out. AMD 78 call less than 76.35. So let's head on over to the option flow first. So looking at the option flow, we can see there's two large blocks of trades here. One that's 3 days to expiration and one that's 10 days to expiration. And they're hitting that bid side of the put. So they're not being as aggressive as hitting the ask side. So we can count this as bullish flow. So using that, coming over to our chart, just kind of looking at the day chart here, and I don't do all my full charting on Webull here, but I can actually have the contract prices on here, so this is why I'm using that. But just a very quick technical analysis part here. This is our day chart, so just support all along here, and there is a lot more that goes into this. It's not just a line on a chart. There's valuations and a bunch of other factors that are taken into account there, but let's break down that trade now. So here we are today. Make it a little bigger here. So here we are. So 76.35 was the call, and again for those who missed it, 76.35. So and again, I'm Central Time for those who don't know, so we'll go in that. So here is 9:30. And when we broke down below, depending on your broker, this is how Webull works for me. If I put in a limit order and the candle continues to go down and you'd get a better price, they will fill you at the better price. So I got in at 70, which I believe is probably right about there. We'll see here in a minute, but got in at 70. So we stopped here and kind of stopped. So this is where the IV comes in and becomes a factor. So I'll show you guys that on the contract side of things after this, but we just slowly chopped up, and then we had a nice candle up, and I wasn't looking to get back in after this, but I believe by the time I actually put that out, we ended up here. But I was actually out about in here, and I didn't take that up, but we'll still recap it. And again, if you held longer, and this was after the minutes came out, so there are no trade ideas after this, but you come up here, these hit over 55%. So we had a nice little smooth, boring trade, I'll call it. Nice, choppy, boring, slow trade. And let's pull up the contract here. So we had the 78 call, and again, everything is a weekly unless specifically called out. So this would be that big red candle that you saw on the first page. So when we triggered, so it would have been about 75, and by the time you got into fill, I got filled at 70. Even if you got in at the high, you would have stopped out, but around this 70, you may have ticked over 10%, but I actually did not stop out there, and we just slowly came up. So remember the chart here. I'm going to run back to it quick. Where are we? This was the big breakdown. We're barely chopping up slowly, but look at the contract here. No, that's correct. We're barely chopping up slowly, and look at how quick the contract is going up. We go from 70 to 77-ish just from that small move up on AMD. This is the power of IV. AMD is crashing down, and there everybody wants puts. Calls are cheaper at that timing. So when you get in and stop like that, that contract, the calls start to gain value. Like, oh, hey, we're done going down so fast. We might be done going down. So then you see our run up here. And again, if you got in around 70, you topped out at 108. This is if you took the long one. Again, I was out about 79-ish. I believe it was 78, sorry. But even here, I mean, 82, 70 to 82, that's a great return. And then even if you took the higher end there, still a great return. And again, everybody always asks, how do you find your levels? Here is actually, I don't want the thing, but I mean, you start again, and again, it's more than just lines. It's looking how the company is doing earnings wise, what's going on economics wise, all that stuff. So, I mean, even just starting here, look at the support here. Good support. Move it out to the 15. Good support, good support. So you can assume there's going to be somewhat of a bounce. It doesn't happen all the time, obviously. Trading is not a 100% winning game at all. But, I mean, just doing some small due diligence like this, and on like on my actual charting, there's more than just one line on it, but not a million lines, useful lines. So otherwise, that is all I have for everyone tonight. Look forward to throwing out more videos soon. Have a good night, everyone.